Good evening. Sorry we're getting started a little late. My name is John Marion from Common Cause. I know about 3/4 of you, but those of you I don't know, welcome. And those of you I do know, welcome. Thanks for spending a nice July evening here at our 3rd annual legislative wrap-up. I want to start out with an apology of sorts. So apparently the ACLU has an event with an identical title at the same exact time. In fact, we got some phone calls asking if it was a joint event, including one of the panelists.
ACLUs.
Yeah, but it wasn't. We stole this idea 4 years ago of having this event, from the ACLU, but we did not do that intentionally. We did plan ours in January, so we did get here first, but I guess we should have told them. So I just want to start out by thanking the JCCC, I don't know if Jana's in the room, for helping with the space. They are very gracious hosts. And I also want to thank our panelists. Tonight, well, I'll introduce in a second. The way we're going to work this is we're going to start with some questions about some of the core issues that Common Cause works on, that they were involved in, as well as some questions about the House and Senate rules. Some of you might have been here for an event in January or February about the House rules. And then we're going to move on to your questions. And we might not take the full 2 hours. We'll see how many questions we have. Let me start by introducing the panelists. I forgot to make name tense, so I apologize. You'll have to remember who is who, but we'll start closest to me. This is Representative Jason Knight. He is a Democratic member of the Rhode Island House of Representatives from District 67 in Warren and Barrington. He's a lawyer in private practice. This year he introduced the House version of Common Cause's legislation to put a constitutional amendment on the ballot that would create an independent redistricting commission. He's also a member of the so-called Reform Caucus, which we'll get into in a minute. To his left, we have Representative Jack Lyle, a Republican member of the House, representing District 46, which is Lincoln and a little bit of Pawtucket. He was first elected last year, but he previously served in the Senate back in the 80s and 90s. Yes. So he can provide a little perspective on both chambers and a little historical perspective. I asked him today because I did not know what he did. He's a retired educator, but also an attorney, and I think he said chief bottle washer because he has 5 dogs. But many other talents, it sounds like. This year he introduced legislation of ours that would put magistrates under the merit selection process in Rhode Island. Next we have Senator Dawn Euer, who is a Democratic member of the Senate representing District 13, which is wholly in Newport.
Newport and Jamestown.
Oh shoot, Newport and Jamestown. Thank you. First elected in 2017. Also a lawyer in private practice up here in Providence. She also put in the Senate version of our redistricting legislation. And last but not least, Senator Jim Sheehan, a Democratic member of the Senate representing District 36, which is Narragansett and North Kingstown. First elected in 2002, if I have it correctly.
2001. 2000. Sure.
Oh, sorry. Yep. And then this year has introduced many bills of ours over the years, including the magistrate bill in the prior sessions, and this year introduced legislation for public financing for races for the General Assembly, among other bills. So I thought we'd just kind of dive in to some of the topics, sort of starting at the beginning of the legislative session, and kind of go through them, and I'd ask the panelists different questions. Feel free to interrupt if you want to highlight something that somebody else was talking about. And if the audience has questions, we can try to save them to the end, but if there's something you're dying to know, I think we can accommodate your question.